The sky was grey, and the air smelled of fresh rain mixed with car fumes. It was a Thursday afternoon. People in tailored suits and polished shoes walked quickly into the towering luxury hotel at the heart of the city. Outside the gates, sitting quietly on the cold sidewalk, was a girl, barefoot, thin, maybe 18. Her long black hair was tangled but tucked neatly behind her ears. Her faded green dress was ripped at the edges, but clean. Her face, despite the dirt and bruises, was striking. Soft brown eyes. Hopeful, even after all she'd been through. She wasn't loud. She didn't beg the way most did. She just sat, with a tiny sign she'd written on a torn notebook page. Anything left over, please. People passed her. No one looked down. Until the glass door swung open, and out walked a man in a charcoal grey suit, leather shoes shining, silver watch glinting in the sun. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and walked with power. He was the CEO of the very hotel she sat beside, Mr. Armaan Roy, one of the youngest millionaires in the country. He walked past her at first, barely noticed. But just as he passed her, she stood up and softly asked, "Sir, may I please have what's left of your lunch?" He froze mid-step. She hadn't shouted. She didn't sound desperate. Her voice was calm. Polite. Honest. He turned slightly and looked down. Their eyes met. For just a second, he saw something he couldn't explain. Armaan didn't respond. He turned his face away, adjusting his cufflink, and walked to his car. He sat inside, trying to shake off what just happened. But his mind wandered. That face. Those eyes. Why did they bother him? He opened his phone. Scrolled through emails. But couldn't focus. A memory crept up of a small child sitting in the rain years ago. Of his own mother handing a food packet to a girl on the street. Of a time when they had nothing, and kindness was currency. Armaan didn't like remembering the past. He worked hard to bury it, to become this version of himself who didn't flinch, didn't feel, didn't care. But something about that girl felt familiar. Meanwhile, the girl was back on the sidewalk. Still holding her sign. Still waiting. A restaurant waiter came out and shooed her away. Go somewhere else. Don't ruin the look of the hotel. She nodded softly and walked to the corner. She didn't argue. Didn't cry. Just sat again. Armaan was watching from his tinted window. Something twisted inside him. 10 minutes later, Armaan stepped out again, this time without his blazer, sleeves rolled up. In his hand, a fresh meal. Rice, vegetables, warm bread, a bottle of water. He walked toward her. She didn't see him at first. "Here," he said quietly. She looked up, startled. I didn't mean to bother you, sir," she said softly. "You didn't. Just eat." She took the food with both hands like it was gold. "Thank you," she whispered. He watched her for a moment longer before walking away. But her quiet thank you stayed with him like a song stuck in his head. Inside the hotel lobby, staff whispered, "Did you see? The boss gave food to that street girl." Armaan didn't care. In fact, for the first time in months, he felt something crack open inside. The next day, she was back, same spot. Same gentle silence. This time, Armaan didn't wait. He brought breakfast. They sat on the bench outside the hotel. Few people stared. Most ignored. He finally asked, "What's your name?" She hesitated. Then said, "Meera." "Where's your family?" She looked down. "My mother died last year." My father left long ago. I had a younger brother, but we were separated when we were kicked out of the shelter. I've been trying to find him. How old is he? 7. The silence after that was heavy. Armaan remembered being 7. Remembered being homeless. He remembered losing his sister in a crowd once, the panic. The pain. You're not lying, are you? He asked. She shook her head. I wouldn't lie. Not for food. Not for sympathy. Her voice was steady. Her pride intact. Her heart, open but not broken. Later that day, Armaan made a few calls. He contacted local NGOs. Orphanage records. Shelter lists. Descriptions of a missing 7-year-old boy named Kunal with a small birthmark on his cheek. His assistant thought he was going mad. But Armaan wasn't doing this out of guilt. Something deeper was pulling him. He didn't tell Meera. He just kept meeting her each day. Feeding her. Listening. She didn't ask for help. She never complained. One morning, he found her missing from the usual spot. Panic hit him. But then, he saw her near the back alley, helping an old woman lift garbage bins. Still hungry. Still barefoot. Still graceful. That evening, he finally told her. I'm trying to find your brother. She looked at him, stunned. And then she cried for the first time. Not because she was sad, but because someone finally cared. 2 days later, a call came. A shelter nearby had admitted a scared little boy found near a bus station. Armaan drove there himself. The moment he saw the boy, he knew. Same eyes. Same quiet strength. Kunal. He gently knelt down and asked, Do you have a sister named Meera? The boy nodded slowly. That night, in the hotel garden under soft fairy lights, Armaan brought Meera in. Kunal ran toward her. Dee. She dropped to her knees. The reunion was silent. Beautiful. Healing. Even the hotel staff cried. And Armaan stood quietly behind, his eyes wet. A week later, Meera and Kunal had a place to stay. Armaan arranged it himself, no publicity, no photos, no charity banners. Just one promise, you'll never be hungry again. He offered her education. A job at the hotel once she was ready. Meera refused to take shortcuts. I'll work for everything, sir. He smiled. That morning, as the city awoke, Meera walked into the hotel, not to beg, but to work. Hair tied neatly. Wearing a simple uniform. Her brother safe, sleeping in the staff quarters. The same people who once ignored her, now greeted her. Some with guilt. Some with admiration. And Armaan? He watched from his office window, smiling, a man changed by a girl who never begged for pity, only for a chance. Because sometimes, a miracle doesn't come from heaven. It comes from seeing a stranger and choosing to care. If this story touched your heart, hit the like button and share it with someone who needs a moment of hope today. Red heart # comment I believe in kindness if you watched till the end. Bell subscribe for more powerful, true feeling stories every single day.